The hunters arrived. The quiet of Virelia 9 did not last long. By mid-morning, faint shadows appeared on the horizon, moving fast across the red soil. Eli watched through the cracked window, his eyes narrowing. He recognized the shapes immediately. Alien patrol drones, sleek ships designed to hunt and capture. His stomach tightened, knowing what this meant for Talara. Inside, Talara sat near the fire, trying to eat. Her hands trembled as she held a small piece of bread. The children played quietly, unaware of the danger creeping closer. Suddenly, a low hum vibrated through the walls. The patrol ships had landed at the edge of the settlement. Scanning for signs of life, Talara's eyes widened in fear, her instincts screaming to flee. Eli crouched beside her, his voice calm but firm. "They are here to take you," he said. Her gaze dropped, tears forming. "I cannot go back. They will punish you if you protect me," she whispered. Eli shook his head. "Not happening," he said. He grabbed his old plasma rifle, polished and ready, and checked the chamber. The children peeked from the corner, their small faces full of worry. Outside, the drones landed with soft thuds, their scanning beams sweeping across the terrain. 2 humanoid bounty hunters stepped down, their armor glinting in the weak sunlight. They carried weapons that could tear a human apart in seconds. Eli stepped outside calmly, raising his rifle just enough to show he was aware but not aggressive. "Leave," he said quietly. "She is under my protection." The hunters laughed, a cold, cruel sound that made Talara shrink back. "She belongs to the Imperial Court," one said. Voice metallic. "Hand her over, human, and you will be spared." Eli smiled faintly, a mix of exhaustion and defiance on his face. "You'll have to take her from my home," he said. Talara watched in awe. Humans were so different from her people. No begging, no pleading, just quiet courage. The children ran to hide behind crates and furniture. Peeking out nervously, the first hunter aimed, a bright beam of energy forming on his rifle. Eli fired a warning shot. Scorching the ground just in front of them, the hunt was on. But Eli's knowledge of the terrain gave him an edge. He guided Talara through a narrow alley, the children following silently. The hunters split, moving fast, their sensors sweeping every corner. The tension was unbearable. Every sound of wind or shifting sand could mean discovery. At the edge of an abandoned mine, Eli stopped, crouching low. "Through here," he whispered. "Quick, follow me." Talara hesitated, fear still gripping her heart. Eli reached out, gently taking her hand, and she finally allowed him to lead. They moved through narrow tunnels, old mining tracks guiding them. Outside, blaster fire echoed, warning shots meant to scare. The children gasped, but Eli stayed calm, keeping his focus on the path. Hours passed like minutes, adrenaline keeping them moving. Finally, they emerged into a hidden canyon, safe for now. Talara leaned against a rock, breathing heavily. I thought they would take me," she said. Her voice shaking, Eli knelt beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "They won't," he said. "Not while I'm here." The children peeked out from behind rocks, their eyes wide but full of trust. For the first time, Talara realized that humans would fight not just for themselves, but for others, and that realization changed everything inside her. The healing shelter, the hidden canyon, was quiet, surrounded by jagged rocks and twisted alien trees. Eli led Talara and the children to a small shelter he had built long ago, a place few knew existed. It was simple, walls of stone and metal, a fire pit and shelves for supplies. But to Talara it felt like a palace, a safe haven in a dangerous world. Eli set her down gently on a makeshift cot. Her leg was swollen, and the wound had begun to ache fiercely. "I can help," he said, but she shook her head, hesitant. I don't know if I trust humans with this," she whispered. Eli smiled faintly. "Then watch," he said. He opened a small kit and began cleaning her wound carefully. Talara flinched, but the pain eased with each careful movement. The children watched quietly, their eyes wide with curiosity. The youngest boy asked softly, "Why is she hurt?" Eli looked at him, tired but patient. "She was in danger, but we help those in need," he explained. Talara observed them, a strange feeling stirring inside. No one had ever treated her like this, with patience, care, and no expectation. She wanted to pull away, but she couldn't resist the warmth of the fire, the gentle hands, and the safe voices. Hours passed, and Eli finished tending to her wound. Talara felt the pain lessen, but her heart was heavy. "I am useless," she said quietly. looking at the children playing quietly nearby. They will never accept me. My people have cast me aside. Eli leaned close. Family is more than your past or your people, he said. You are safe here, and so are they. Talara did not speak. But for the first time, she felt something unfamiliar and hope that night. The children invited her to sit by the fire. The youngest clutched her hand and whispered, You can stay, Aunt Lara. Talara looked at them. Unsure how to respond, she had been alone for so long. Rejected for being different. Now these tiny humans offered her acceptance. Love and trust, her eyes glistened. Tears forming at the edge, Eli watched silently, his own heart heavy but full. He remembered the pain of losing his wife, and the fear of failing his children. Yet here, in this small shelter, he realized something important. The real strength of humanity was not weapons, power, or skill. It was love, compassion, and the willingness to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Suddenly, Talara's communicator beeped softly. Buried in her clothing, she froze, eyes wide with fear. Eli noticed it. What is it? He asked. My people. They will find me soon, she said. Her voice trembling, Eli nodded. Then we prepare. But first rest, he said. He covered her with a blanket, gently tucking it around her shoulders for the first time. She allowed herself to relax completely, feeling warmth she had never known. Outside, faint engine hums reminded them danger was never far. Talara looked at Eli, a mixture of fear and gratitude in her eyes. Why do you care for me? She asked quietly. Eli smiled. Because protecting those in need is what humans do. And you're not just anyone, he said. She blinked, realizing she had begun to trust him, and as night settled over the canyon, Talara felt something she had not felt for years. Belonging. The children curled up near her, small bodies warm against the cot. Talara whispered softly to them, I will help you. Eli watched them, knowing the real battle was not only against hunters and danger, it was the challenge of bringing hope to someone who had lost everything. And in this quiet shelter, a fragile, growing family began to form, human courage, alien heart, and the warmth of children intertwined, shaping a future that neither could yet imagine. The lonely human on the frontier. The sky of Virelia 9 was dark and full of cold wind. The colony lights blinked weakly under heavy clouds. In a small shelter on the edge of the frontier, a man named Eli Grant sat near a flickering heater. He was a mechanic, a farmer, and a father of 3. His wife had died many years ago during a dust storm, leaving him alone with 3 small children and endless silence. Eli's home stood apart from the main colony, surrounded by empty fields of red soil and twisted metal. He liked it that way. Quiet, peaceful, and far from alien politics, he fixed things for settlers, built tools, repaired machines, and kept the power grid alive. But deep inside, there was a strange emptiness, a weight of loneliness that never left him. That night, the wind screamed through the cracks. Shaking the roof, the children were asleep. 2 boys and a girl huddled together under a thick blanket. Eli looked at the old radar screen in the corner of his workshop. Suddenly, a signal blinked, a distress beacon, weak but steady, coming from the northern hills. No ships were supposed to fly during a storm, yet the beacon kept flashing again and again. He grabbed his jacket, his old rifle, and a lantern. He hesitated for a second, then looked at his sleeping kids, whispering, Stay inside, Daddy will be back soon. The air outside was freezing and heavy with sand. The wind hit his face as he walked toward the hills, following the beacon through darkness and dust. After almost an hour, he found it, a small alien shuttle. Half buried in red mud, smoke still rising from the engines, the hatch was open, and strange marks glowed faintly on the side. Eli moved closer carefully, his rifle ready. Then he heard a soft sound, a faint cry, a voice filled with fear. He stepped inside and saw her, an alien woman, lying against the wall, bleeding, trembling, and looking terrified. Her skin shimmered faintly blue under the light, her eyes large and bright with pain. When she saw him, she gasped and tried to crawl away, whispering, Please, don't hurt me. Eli lowered his rifle slowly and said gently, I don't hurt people, I fix things. Those simple words calmed her for a moment. He checked her pulse, saw that her leg was injured badly, and carefully lifted her into his arms. The storm howled around them as he carried her back home, step by step through the cold night. By the time he reached his shelter, his clothes were soaked and his arms ached. He placed her on the couch near the heater, wrapped a blanket around her and started cleaning her wound. His children woke up, sleepy and confused, watching their father work on a real alien. One of them whispered, "Daddy, is she dangerous?" Eli smiled tiredly. "No, she's just hurt." The alien woman opened her eyes and looked around. Still afraid but curious, she tried to speak but coughed instead. Her voice weak and broken. Eli offered her a cup of warm water and said, "You're safe now." Her fingers trembled as she took it. Outside, the storm began to fade, but far in the distance, faint lights moved across the sky, ships searching for the missing shuttle. Eli noticed them through the window and frowned. He knew trouble was coming. He turned back to her and whispered, "Rest now. Whoever's looking for you can wait." The alien woman closed her eyes, and for the first time in her life, she felt safe in the arms of a human. Eli sat near the window, rifle in hand. Guarding her through the night, he didn't know who she was, or why she had fallen from the sky. But something deep inside told him this meeting would change everything. The woman who feared warmth. The morning sun barely pierced the heavy clouds of Virelia 9. Inside Eli's small home, the alien woman stirred, blinking at the soft light. She had never seen a place like this. A human house with warm blankets, a fire crackling in the corner, and small faces staring at her curiously. Her name was Talara, though she said it quietly, almost like a secret. Her eyes moved nervously from the children to Eli and back to the window, watching the horizon for signs of hunters. She was strong in her own world, trained in alien combat and diplomacy. Yet here, in a human home, she felt fragile, small, and uncertain. Eli sat on a chair nearby, sipping hot tea, watching her carefully. "Do you need food?" he asked softly. Talara shook her head, clutching her injured leg. "I am broken," she whispered, voice trembling. "I cannot bear children. I have no purpose now." Eli's brow furrowed, but he smiled gently. "That doesn't matter here," he said. He looked toward his 3 children playing quietly in the corner. "They will teach you that family is more than blood," he added. Talara blinked, confusion and disbelief mixing in her eyes. She had been raised to think that a female's worth was measured by her ability to bear heirs. Here, a human man told her that even broken beings could have value. The children were curious and cautious, yet their laughter began to warm the room. One of the boys asked, "Are you going to stay with us?" Talara froze, unsure how to answer. She had lived her life in palaces and strict rules. No one had ever smiled at her without expectation. No one had ever told her that she could be safe, just for being herself. Eli knelt beside her, bandages in hand. "Your leg is injured," he said simply. He cleaned the wound and wrapped it carefully. Talara flinched at first, then relaxed, realizing he meant no harm. She noticed how his hands were steady, confident yet gentle. A strange warmth stirred inside her, unfamiliar and unwelcome. But even as comfort touched her heart, fear lingered. Outside, distant hums hinted at patrol drones and bounty hunters. Her people were searching for her. If they found her here, Eli's home would not be safe. She wanted to flee, to disappear into the cold desert. Yet she couldn't leave the warmth, the safety, the strange kindness that humans gave. Over the next hours, small trust grew between them. Talara began speaking in broken words, asking questions about Eli's children. "How old are they?" she asked hesitantly. "They are 7, 5, and 3, Eli replied. "They are happy?" she asked, a small smile forming. "They are happy because they know love," he answered. The alien woman stared at them quietly, understanding for the first time that happiness could exist without power, without expectation, without judgment. As the sun climbed higher, Talara realized she had stayed longer than planned. Her mind raced. If her people arrived, the children could be in danger. Eli noticed her tension and whispered, "You don't have to run. I will protect them. I will protect you." For the first time in her life, Talara felt a strange, dangerous thing, hope. And with hope came the faintest courage to believe that maybe humans were different. She looked at Eli, the children, the small home, and whispered softly, "Perhaps I can stay." And in that moment, the bond between human and alien began, fragile yet strong. Outside, distant hums of engines and scanning drones reminded them danger was never far. But inside, warmth, trust, and the possibility of family bloomed. Eli smiled faintly, knowing the real test of courage and humanity was only beginning. The family beyond blood, the morning sun rose over Virelia 9, painting the canyon in soft orange and red hues. Talara stood outside the shelter, watching Eli and the children tend to the small garden he had built. For the first time, the alien woman felt a sense of peace, a feeling she had thought impossible. She had run from her past, from her people, from fear, but now she realized she had found something greater, a family that accepted her without question. The children ran toward her, shouting her name. "Mom!" "Look what we found," the youngest cried, holding a small flower that had bloomed in the desert soil. Talara laughed, a pure, heartfelt sound that echoed through the canyon. Eli watched, smiling quietly, seeing the bond growing stronger between them. The alien woman knelt, letting the children hug her tightly, their warmth and trust filling her heart. She thought about her people, the nobles who had cast her aside for being infertile. For years she had believed she was worthless, destined to be alone, but humans had shown her a different truth. Worth was not measured by bloodlines. It was measured by love, courage, and the willingness to protect one another. Talara had found a home in the unlikeliest of places, and her heart was full for the first time in her life. Suddenly, a faint signal appeared on her communicator. A message from her people. She hesitated, fear tightening her chest, but she remembered Eli's words. Family is stronger than fear. She opened the message carefully, expecting threats, commands, or punishment. Instead, she found something surprising. Her people had observed her with humans and the children. The message read, "Perhaps we were wrong. You have found a strength beyond our understanding. Return only if you wish." Talara stared at the device, tears forming. For the first time, she realized that humans had not only protected her, they had also changed the way her people saw the world. Eli approached her quietly, placing a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to go anywhere," he said. She looked at him, gratitude and love in her eyes. "I don't think I will," she whispered. The children cheered, running around them. It was a moment of triumph, not over enemies, but over fear, loneliness, and doubt. Weeks passed, and the shelter became a home. Talara taught the children alien knowledge, from basic survival skills to understanding new tools. Eli repaired machines, built new structures, and nurtured the land. The children thrived, blending human curiosity with alien intelligence. The small family had become stronger, smarter, and happier than anyone could imagine. One evening, Talara sat beside Eli. Watching the sunset, she placed her hand gently over his, feeling the warmth of a bond that went beyond words. "You saved me, Eli," she said softly. "No," he replied. "You saved us too, by teaching us courage, trust, and what it means to care for someone completely." She smiled, leaning her head on his shoulder. The canyon was quiet, but it no longer felt empty. It was filled with laughter, love, and the promise of a future built together. For Talara, Eli, and the children, family was no longer defined by blood or species. It was defined by heart, by bravery, and by the choice to protect and love each other unconditionally. As night fell and stars glittered above the canyon, she whispered softly to herself, "I am home." And in that moment, the human, the alien, and the children became something extraordinary. A family beyond fear, beyond blood, and beyond the limits of the universe itself. The Empire's demand, the quiet of the canyon could not last. By mid-morning, a massive alien ship descended from the sky, its engines roaring, shaking loose stones from the cliff walls. Eli knew immediately who it was. The Imperial Court had found Talara. The ship's landing gear pressed into the red soil, leaving deep craters and sending dust into the air. Talara froze, her eyes wide with fear. She had run from this moment her entire life, yet here it was, unavoidable. Eli stepped in front of her, shielding her small frame with his own body. The ship's hatch opened slowly, revealing 3 heavily armed envoys, their armor polished and shining. They moved with precision and authority, their voices cold, metallic, and commanding. "Hand over the fugitive noble," one said, voice echoing in the canyon. "You will be rewarded with wealth, rank, and protection," added another. Eli glanced at Talara, then at the children hiding behind rocks. "They belong to me," he said simply, his eyes steady. "They will not be used to threaten her." The envoys laughed, a sound that carried cruelty and certainty. "You are a human," the lead envoy said. "Weak and insignificant, yet you think you can defy the Empire?" Eli did not flinch, his rifle in hand, fingers steady. "Family is stronger than your empire," he said. and protecting those who cannot defend themselves is worth more than any reward you offer. Talara's heart raced as she watched this human stand against the most powerful being she had ever seen. His calm confidence and courage were unlike anything her people had taught her. Even the children peeked from their hiding place. Sensing that something extraordinary was happening, one of the boys whispered, "Daddy, they are going to hurt him." Eli smiled faintly. "No, they will see the truth soon." The lead envoy stepped closer. Scanning Talara with a device that glowed faintly, he paused, noticing something unusual. The human had not only protected her, he had also shielded the children, kept them calm, and stood unwavering despite being outnumbered. Talara realized then that humans were different. Their power was not only in strength or weapons, but in heart. The envoy looked at Eli, analyzing him, calculating. Finally he spoke. "You defy the Empire. For a child and a fugitive noble?" Eli nodded. "Yes, because it is right." Talara stepped forward. Trembling, "I will surrender," she said softly, expecting him to demand it, but Eli shook his head. "No, you are not alone," he said. He placed his hand on her shoulder. Firm and reassuring, the envoys paused, unsure how to respond to this human loyalty. It was unprecedented, confusing, and frightening to them. For a long moment, silence stretched across the canyon, broken only by the hum of engines. Talara looked at Eli, tears forming. "I thought I would always be alone. Weak, unwanted," she whispered. Eli smiled. "You are none of those things," he said. "You are part of a family now, and I will fight anyone who tries to take you from it." The envoys finally stepped back, reporting to their superiors, uncertain and shaken. Eli watched them, knowing that Talara's people were beginning to see the strength of human courage and compassion. The children ran to hug her, small hands wrapping around her waist. Talara realized that the bond between humans and aliens could be stronger than fear, stronger than power. In the canyon, a quiet but powerful truth settled. Humanity could protect, could teach, and could love even when all odds were against them. And in that moment, Talara began to understand that she had found something greater than safety. She had found a home. The truth about humanity. The canyon was quiet again, but the air still hummed with tension. Talara sat near the fire, watching Eli repair the old shelter roof with steady hands. The children played nearby, laughing softly, unaware of the distant threat that had come and gone. For the first time in her life, Talara could breathe without fear, but her mind raced with questions. How can humans be so different? She asked softly. Eli looked at her, wiping sweat from his brow. "What do you mean?" he asked, curious. "You protected me, your children, and yourself." "All at once," she said. "I thought strength meant weapons, power, control. But humans fight for love for others, not just themselves." Eli smiled faintly, placing a hand on the wooden beam he was fixing. "Strength is more than guns and armor," he said. "It's heart, courage, and the will to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Talara listened, her eyes wide, beginning to understand. Her people valued only skill, position, and bloodlines, but here, she saw a truth she had never known. Humanity measured worth by actions, loyalty, and compassion. The children ran up to her, holding small rocks they had found. "Look, a gift for you," one exclaimed, handing her a smooth red stone. Talara laughed softly, a sound she had almost forgotten. Eli watched, a quiet warmth in his chest. Even in danger, even after fear and loss, humans could teach joy and kindness, and Talara felt her heart begin to thaw, a strange feeling of belonging spreading through her. Later, as night fell, Eli and Talara stood near the fire. Stars glittered above the canyon like distant jewels. "You risked everything for me. For my children," she said, her voice trembling. "They could have taken you, hurt you." Eli shook his head. "No," he said. "They could not take what we have built here." Together, Talara felt tears sting her eyes. No one had ever spoken like this to her. No one had ever believed she was worthy, even broken. Far in the sky, the faint hum of alien ships passed, scanning, observing. Talara realized her people were watching, seeing her with humans. Learning that courage was not always loud or violent, she began to teach Eli and the children some alien survival techniques, showing them how to use hidden tools, analyze plants, and track movement across the desert. Eli listened and learned eagerly, amazed at her skill and intelligence, but the lessons were more than survival. They were a bridge, a connection between species, a lesson in understanding and respect. something that Talara had never imagined possible as the night deepened. Talara looked at Eli and whispered, "You saved me, yet you did not ask for anything in return." He shrugged lightly. "Because helping others is what humans do," he said. She realized then that humanity's power was not just in technology or weapons. It was in the way they could change hearts, create trust, and protect life, even when nothing was owed in return. The children fell asleep one by one, tired but safe. Talara stayed awake, gazing at them, feeling a strange sense of hope and purpose. For the first time, she did not feel broken. She felt part of something greater than herself, a family that crossed species, borders, and fear, and she knew deep inside that humans were capable of more than she had ever imagined. In the quiet of the canyon under the endless stars, Talara understood the truth. Humanity was not just strong, it was extraordinary.